Do I think it will be enough? No.
Okay, that's pretty crisp right there, and I gotta kind of echo your thoughts as well, right? I mean, it is Nuke, it is a map like you said that they have beaten them once, but the fact that it picked into Nuke again,
Yeah.
knowing that Renegades would have probably done their homework, probably be ready for them, I feel like it does paint a better picture, right? Like you pointed out earlier as well that Inferno game there were a lot of holes in the way they're approaching their CD side, especially the way they're getting abused by Renegades. Nuke is a harder map to play on, even on the CD side as well. Usually, you see a better team, like a more well-versed team on Nuke, winning most of the rounds on the CD side, just because they have the right protocols, they have the right, idea, the right rotations. Everything's kind of pre-planned and laid out. They have the template to work with on the CD side. But for Rooster, the way they play, the way some of these players have the tendencies to maybe overextend, maybe go for this individual plays, do you think it's going to really work with a slightly more tactical map like Nuke?
I think it can. I think the worry for me is actually more the T side than anything. And it's similarly to what we witnessed earlier in the day. In fact, in our last match, where the aggressive plays on the CT side of Nuke are actually something that can be very successful, especially around Heart. There's a lot of space that can be gathered because it's a big T side to, I guess, cover everything. Like you can't dedicate players to hold ramp, hold lobby, and take outside. Like you have to pick and choose your battles. So I think there'll be opportunities here for the Rooster squad to maybe make some more cheeky and more aggressive plays. The problem is with the T side, pretty much everything you do on this map at this point is scripted or telegraphed. Like you're going to be able to work out if they're attempting to go down secret. You could be able to very easily work out what they're planning around the ramp. So to be surprising, most teams go, let's explode into the A side, which is the most predictable play in the entire strat book of Nuke. Everybody expects that at this point. You have counter nades for everything. So although teams have definitely developed a T side, I think more often than not, especially if you're an underdog, teams are going to be ready for anything you have to throw at them.
True, that could be the case. And also, like just looking at, I'm just taking a look at the brackets that we have here. Just we do wait for the final player to join into the server, ladies and gentlemen. Should be in the next couple of minutes. But look at the brackets, right? You look at all these matchups, and I kind of feel bad for Rooster. I feel like this team, amongst all the other teams who qualified, they might stand a chance against the Chiefs. They might stand a chance against a ground zero, right? They could
Yep.
potentially have pulled off the upset. Unfortunately, they're against Renegades.
Well, we pretty much said it already within this tournament that for teams like Rooster, unless somehow both Renegades and Order bottom out, and then they also manage to go on and win the whole thing, there's not really a chance for them to actually get the major spot. Like it is a needle in a haystack that's been thrown out of a plane. Like you're going to be searching for years to try and find that opportunity. Like it is bleak, but at the same time, if they're going to do that, they have to beat everybody. So they have to beat Renegades. Second place in this tournament, it's nice. It's like, oh, cool. I made some money and I
Mhm.
got some points, which if I take all of these points, they are worth nothing because Renegades have qualified. But that's basically the point. Like you can't think about this as a, oh yeah, this is my chance to get to the major, because especially if you didn't play the first one, there is a very small chance of you making it to the major. Like realistically, it's Order versus Renegades, and that's it. That's what we're looking at. It is, however, a chance for you to win a tournament. It's a chance for you to win some money, and it's a chance for you to get some good practice against the top teams within your region. Now, that's how I want to see these teams focusing on it, because if you get demoralized by the fact that once Renegades get top four or once Order get top four, you can't beat them in points anymore, then you're in the wrong tournament. You're in the wrong business, because that's not how this is going to go.
Yeah, I mean the chances of Renegades and Order being knocked out in the bottom four is unlikely. It's pretty unlikely that that's going to happen. I do
Yeah.
agree with you. I feel like even if you go back to the Perfect World Asia League 2020, like the PAL 2020, the Summer RMR for Asia, right? You had so many teams. You have Tyloo, you have Vici, right? And you have Invictus. And here's a cool thing for Invictus: they didn't play the first RMR. They had 0 points coming to the event, but they still came in second, and they were able to like do a lot of damage. They had the mentality that they're like, doesn't matter if you don't qualify for the major, we're going to show that we can
Yeah.
be the best team in the region right
Yeah, that's pretty much the attitude you need to have. And then the other thing as well is if you do well enough at this one, when there are other RMRs in the future, you're probably going to be on the invite list. So that's a better way to look at it for a team like Rooster, or even just getting organizations like that. That's going to be a pretty big one for them at this point, like getting some decent backing within the region. Nonetheless, It is now going to be this map underway. The T's looking to try and explode onto this A site, or maybe not. They've gone for the cheeky special, where you dive down the vent, look for that bomb plant. Malta was already prepared for it, but it might not be enough, as the kills have come back in favor of the Roosters. And in fact, they'll continue at least for the moment. The problem now is that rotation has to come in from the remaining two.
And Chelios in a good position. Dexter finding ASAP as well. ASAP needed a lot of work to do, and Chelios 1v2. They don't have a kit, and the bomb is planted for Chelios. What can he possibly do? They're going to close the door in his face, swing it back into his face, and then there's a bullet to kiss him goodnight. How, in God's name, have Dexter and Siggo pulled that one back? I felt like Rooster did everything needed. We saw ASAP get 2 kills on the lurk. We saw them get the opening kill as well towards lower, and somehow Dexter and Siggo single-handedly well, double-handedly rather, just stealing the round away from Rooster.
Yeah, quad-handedly have managed to...
Fine, fair. All right. Oh, what a read from Dexter, man. This guy.
Oh, I hate that worked. It's just like, I hate when they swing the door back and the person's like, a door.
Here's Johnny.
They forced into this one though, and I like this call. Like, this is still the thing I hate most about Counter-Strike, which, to be honest, with Asian Counter-Strike coming up, that's a pretty big claim. But I don't like that the T's can come in with a better buy, even though they get the bomb plant, even though they lose the round very close. I don't want to see them coming in with more rifles than the opposing side. Doesn't make sense, but it may not matter. Renegades have got off to a strong start, and any rifle that is lost for one is a rifle gained for another. It may not even be needed though. Malta is already going to pick up the second kill for the CT side. He hasn't even fallen back. That might be a bit of an oversight. Normally you do go scattering down the ramp, especially, well, considering it an MP9, where it would almost be more effective from where he would have fallen back to.
Never mind, Dexter's here. And, well, here's the bomb getting tapped. Still waiting patiently, trying to find something. I'm surprised they broke the window, to be honest. And there's no one watching the window right now. Dexter just playing a game of patience. Finally, they're gonna get the bomb down. Dexter not checking to his close right, but he knows where the bomb is. Spots a player running on out. He knows where one player is now. He should be aware there's another one towards the ramp. He's going to peer around the corner. No, he's not, but he's going to be spotted out. Now he's aware the ramp player is going to be peeking and trying to get the kill, as Ince is going to get a frag on the netting, but Hats finds Danny. It's all an ADK now. 1v2. Very winnable. Galil, 78 HP, but a bomb is not planted for him, and that could be a problem. Actually, no, it is. My bad, but ADK just getting pinned down. Runs out of bullets. No, when the clock comes out, he's gonna win it, and he's gonna clutch it out. That is the messiest clutch, and no, it wasn't planted for him. He could have stuck to defuse from behind. Or am I completely blind? I don't understand, Tom.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, that made me feel physically ill, so I didn't really see too much of where the bomb was actually planted, but that was, yeah, both players running out of ammo. It could have been a very easy round, in fact, for Renegades if, well, either player managed to land their shots, but it's gone horribly wrong. And this was something I mentioned in the last map. Sure, they did manage to win one pistol, but instantly lost the follow-up round. Each half was started really poorly from Roosters. So if they can get off to a good start in this one, it could be a completely different story. They do, however, have to break past these pistols, which easier said than done.
Well, Sicko, the guy's nuts, man. Just give him any scoped rifle and just hitting all the shots ASAP. Will be taken out very, very early on in this position from Hats. He is Wise lonesome though, so if he gets taken down, there's no trade possible. But the CZ at that range, you would kind of favor him to win some of these duels. He's still going to stick around. Ince finds Chelios. Hats, goes for the spray, doesn't quite get the kill. And now Netic, he's aware of where the remaining CTs are. You know where at least one player is as ADK strikes on a Dexter and a Malta. Sneaking up from above. His position has been compromised as well. Now this is going to be a little bit of a pickle for Malta, because his teammate, that is Sicko, doesn't have a pistol, but Malta's going to find Netic. And now with the smoke dissipating, this is a moment for Sicko to just slowly sneak in with the scout. But with his teammate getting taken down, it's a 1v2. Just might be nigh impossible.
need a miracle shot here, a wall bang or something of the sorts to give him any chance in this round. And while Danny G is not going to allow for that, Rooster, they convert it. It's a little bit too close for comfort, but ultimately that's all that matters. They've broken the economy of Renegades very early on in this match. As said, though, I'm worried more for their T side. So the fact that they have got off to a strong start here is a very, very good sign. Like, they're going to be able to build their economy up in this round with next to nothing being on the other side. The chances are they're going to be able to deny Sicko getting an AWP, which, well, unless he gets a kill in this round, he isn't going to be able to afford even glass cannon. So that's something that they really struggled against in the last map. So this could be a very good sign for them, and maybe even a chance for not just a 3-1 start, but potentially even a 5-1 start.
Yeah, indeed. Oh, Chelios. Oh,
no.
No.
No,
Oh,
no, this is
no.
unacceptable.
That's
No,
not a
really...
P250!
Okay. Breathe. They're still going to win this round, all right, Blair? It's all just a dream. It's all a dream. Like, there's no way the Rooster could ever lose, especially after I said they could get off to a 5-1 start. That would be a pretty ridiculous jinx. And thankfully, ASAP is going to bring this back to normality. There's only 2 players left. Neither of them have guns. It's fine. It's fine, Blair. It's fine. I'm telling you, it's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. Thank you
Fine.
for...
No,
Oh,
it's not fine.
no.
It's not fine. It's not fine.
This is where they played a 1000 IQ game, and Hats doesn't show himself. Doesn't show himself. They don't know where he is. They expect Dexter to be above. Oh no. Oh no. They need to check. Please check. Please. Oh no. Oh no. Tom, you lied. You lied to me.
Still fine. It's still fine. It's
Oh,
fine.
okay.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Right, end that round ASAP.
This is the third time this has happened where Renegades have nothing and they bring it down to like a 2v5 or a 2v4 and ASAP has to do something mental to bring it back. I can't take much more of this, Tom. I'm getting older. I'm losing my hair.
Ah! I wish I was allowed to lose it when I got older.
Well, I'm molding as well, Tom. It's all right. Ooh, I love that. I love that little camera swap. Production value.
Of course, we are in a slight technical pause because, like ourselves, it seems like some hair was lost, and well, maybe someone's picking up off the floor at the moment because that was way too close for comfort. As I said, that was a good chance for them to get off to a 5-1 start with a really good economy, mainly because this buy coming in from the Renegades shouldn't be great. The problem is, though, I sort of, there was a few caveats I had. I went, yeah, they keep this one clean. There's not really a chance for them to buy an AWP. Well, they didn't keep it clean, so there is a chance for Sicko to buy an AWP, which he will now have. So they haven't avoided that danger man whatsoever. Also, the extra kills that came in for the like of Ins means he has a lot more utility than he probably would have had. So it's definitely a more dangerous buy than it would have been. At the same time, for the T's, as long as they convert this round, they're still in a very, very good spot.
Oh, indeed. Especially, your map pick 3-1 up against the kings of ANZ Counter-Strike. Gonna be feeling pretty good, except for that previous round, like you mentioned, Tom. Yeah, that should never have happened. I think it was just like USPs and P2Ks. It wasn't even a P250 in the mix. It was a full eco for Renegade, so... Yeah, losing 4 players, that's too rough. Dexter finds Chelios, just walking out dry. Not ideal. No trade possible. As Dexter finds ADK as well, through the smoke. Reasonable. As Sicko's going to find a third, and one by one, they start to fall.
Yeah, the round in the last is definitely one that could shake your confidence, and we've pretty much put that caveat on top of the Roosters that confidence seems to be everything. Renegades, after doing so much damage in the previous round, look to try and win this one clean. Okay, sure, they lose 1 player, but it really doesn't matter. Look at the economy. 1450 for Danny G. And sure, there's some other players with a little bit of extra cash, but this is a horrible spot to be in because forcing sucks because, you're going to get yourselves an AK Galil and a few pistols. Not forcing also kind of sucks because it means you're going to be left with Galil's either in the next round or maybe even less with some Act 10. So it was a worst situation you could be in. So they picked their lesser evil, which is forced into this round.
Fair. Fair. At least try and make something work here. Tech9's Deagle, they know that the Renegades like playing aggro towards the ramp area. They're going to come charging on Malta. Just good for 2. Damage dealt. But they still deal with Mr. Dexter and Sicko as well, waiting close by. And I like how Dexter immediately just drops down. Are they expecting a second player as well? Sicko holding the line, and he doesn't miss those. I don't think he was expecting ASAP to push in that deep, but he doesn't miss those shots. And it's going to be, well, Renegades win 2 back-to-back, and they lose just 2 players. And that's going to make their bank look pretty decently healthy. Not so great yet, Tom, but it's getting there.
Yeah, and the worrying thing from this point now is this is an eco for Rooster, and although we have almost seen a Miracle USP P2K round, I don't believe in this one. I'm still sticking to my guns. I'm not going to be that man who cowers behind the idea of a jinx. I've been told many a time by risks that they don't exist, but I don't believe in many superstitions, but the Counter-Strike jinx does seem to be one that comes up a little bit too often. But because I brought it up, it's going to be easy. Easy slaughter. No problems at all. Renegades, you spoke about their bank. Well, it's building.
I respect Rooster for not wasting time that round. Just, like, what's the easiest way to get slaughtered on a map like Nuke, especially when you have pistols against full rifle? Just run outside the yard and take the fight against an AWP and an M4. That's exactly what they did. One of the quicker rounds we've seen so far. But like you said, Tom, the money is starting to build now. We have an average of about, if the math is correct, about $5,000 on each and every one of the Renegados. And that could present a problem. The buy's coming in for Rooster, but again, still not a great buy. Look at the utility. It's very sparse. That means they need to make it work with what they have here. But once these smokes run out, once these flashbangs, and, well, they don't even have any Molotovs remaining, they will have to try and go for the duels. And that's not going to be easy. They're going to be making a lot of noise crossing on over, and Sicko spots him out. He spots a couple of feet. A little unfortunate not to land any damage. But for Rooster, well, they have... It's not too bad, right? They have a smoke and a nade remaining, a handful of flashbangs, but at least they have some real estate going their way. But they have, however, lost ADK.
They leave those doors open just to play within the heads of their opponent. Like, it kind of looks that way. I don't know if that's something Dexter did on purpose, but if he did, he's a genius. Like, well, the doors are open. There must be someone there, and there isn't. But whatever it was, he's only going to get 1 kill, but he's done a huge amount of damage to Chelios as well. So it's not a pretty position. They're going to go clearing all of these angles where there's absolutely nobody there. And for Sicko, he's just trying to hold on to the cross, make sure that there's no real chance for them to get a bomb plant. And with the rest of the team not really rotating at all, they've got them trapped.
They do. And all 3 players just... Chelios is trying to sell something. He's trying to sell this fake while they slowly creep their way up towards the vents. But Inns hasn't budged. Danny gets at least a trade, but that's about it. There's nothing that Danny can do. Chelios is going to be found out as well. Danny, 1v3, 13 seconds on the clock. He wants to die before the bomb, before the timer expires, and fortunately, that will be the case. Renegades 5-3 up, so the 5-1 scoreline, unfortunately, Tom, it seems to have kind of dissipated in the wind.
Is it bad that all I'm really thinking about is whether or not that door being left open was on purpose? Like,
it was on purpose.
It just, like, just to play with people, that's so evil. Like, it is, like, just... I think I'm gonna have to start doing that. Although it won't work when I do it, it's just so filthy. Just like, why is that door open? No one leaves that door open. That's a silly thing to do. It gives away your position. But does that mean Dexter isn't there? And then I guarantee there's gonna be a round he does that, and he is there, and then he kills you. And that's where you punch a hole in your desk.
Stop giving kills to Sicko. Okay, it's just a pistol round. But that's the thing, right? When in rounds like this, where you just have the deagles, some Tech-9s, a couple of handful of smokes, you know, a flashbang, I'd like them to kind of maximize the chances of trying to somehow kind of like steamroll a site using those flashes instead of just like one player just walking outside trying to find the lucky pick, just playing defaults, right? And that's something which I feel many teams don't do, even at the higher tiers of Counter-Strike, unfortunately. And, well, Rooster that round, they had a bit of utility, but didn't use it right. They had those pistols, didn't use it right. Again, losing a man early on to Sicko's AWP. And yeah, 6-3. Looking rough already.
I love watching him play, but at the same time, I hate him. just, yeah, no fear, no panic at all. Just like dives in through the vent. This is where we need to see something, though, from the side of Roosters. Like I said, they had a good opportunity early in this match to get off to a 5-1 start after breaking back. Now they're 6-3 down. Their AWP's yet to get a single kill, which, although AWPing on the T side of this map can be very difficult, I think on outside, it's almost pivotal that your T side AWP is getting something done. Otherwise, it's very difficult to dominate these angles, especially when you consider some of the more passive positions that are currently being played. Dexter's completely changed his spot, by the way. Like, he was particularly over towards the B site for a lot of the portion of this map. Now he's gone, okay, you know what? Completely different angle. Let's try and catch them again. And instead, Sicko is almost just styling on them, taking aggressive peeks. This is what we love to see from the AWPer. And Dexter, you can see, is trying to be a bit more cheeky with some of his plays.
Second too late than Nate. But he is aware at least one player has potentially crossing over towards Secret. But yeah, 5v3, you have manpower in abundance. You can just toss a couple of players towards lower. You can have 3 still stacked towards upper. You're going to be feeling very comfortable here. Malta already in a very good spot. We're on top of the lower bomb site. He's got backup as well from Sicko towards the ramp area. A lot of noise being made. Not much time to work with. And this should be a slaughter. Maybe not. Maybe it is.
Wow. I don't know why you started to doubt yourself for a second there. Sicko was there.
Sicko just threw away his... he threw his AWP to pick up an AK to drop to his teammate because he's got $16,000 to buy an AWP again. Yeah,
why not? This is the economy management we like to see. And yeah, he's having an absolute field day. He's currently, I think, 16-3. And we're only 10 rounds into the game. So, yeah, it's just having fun. They haven't been able to get anywhere near this man. And again, when they go back to the pistols, this is actually where we see Rooster try and pick up the pace a little bit. The problem is, again, that these are far more scripted rounds. Like, you do normally go for a couple of upper site aggressive pushes. The problem is, when you do it when your economy's bad, your opponent's going to be expecting it in the P2K master, it seems. That's not something I've ever said before. Ever. And it's something I never really want to say ever again. But he's now got multiple kills, not only in eco rounds, but versus buys.
Well, they get a kill. But at this point, it feels like a lifetime ago, Tom, that we were talking about how the money was kind of precarious for Renegades. The 3 players just shy of, like, you know, around the $14,000 mark, and Malta and Inns, the kind of the poorer players, they're sitting on 7,000. So it's very telling how rough it's been the past 5 or 6 rounds for the side of Rooster, and it's unfortunate as well. I won't lie, the first few rounds was scrappy, it was back and forth, but it was working out for them. It just seems like Renegade just kind of woke up and they're like, hey guys, Sicko, just go kill.
You know who I am.
Come on, Chelios, do something.
They were an 11.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Oh, that's rough.
Yeah, I brought it up a couple of rounds ago, but it hasn't got any better. He's not having a good game. And it does seem like the 2 maps they've picked are 2 maps that can work for AWPers, but are also tough. Like that, it takes a specific AWPer to make it work. Like if you talk about T side of either Inferno or Nuke, it can be done, but it's not easy. And it seems like he is having a rough time. Like I saw him play Overpass yesterday. He was having a strong performance. This from Malta, it's a bold peak. And well, something I haven't seen in a while is a AUG facing off against an SG. The results, however, are the same.
Yeah, actually, I would say the AG came out on top because it almost took down 80k as well, and now they have to walk into the waiting arms of Sicko. They're gonna go for the... Ooh, I like that. I like the attempt. And Sicko's not falling for it. He's like, okay, cool. Have ramp. I don't care. It's gonna rotate all the way around.
Don't worry, Dexter's there. It's just like, you know, I've had enough kills. This is your chance. This has to be something that they check. especially when you're up
come
against
on.
Dexter. You have to check it. He's just waiting, biding his time, but he doesn't actually finish his dinner. Even still, though, Inns has already come back. It's Sicko just waiting on the angle. Oh, this is synergy to the best of their ability. Like, that was flawless from Renegades. And even though Dexter whiffs, it doesn't matter. It's meaningless.
It's like there is a contingency plan for a contingency plan.
Yeah.
Right? He misses, doesn't matter. Look at the timing. Like, and I believe he waited. He didn't take the shot because he waited for his teammate to be right next to him just in case he missed or maybe whiffed or got traded. And that's just, like you said, it's just experience, it's synergy, and just showing why Renegades are just a better team here.
Yeah, and now we are starting to fall into that bracket of... Well, firstly, I think we're seeing that there has definitely been work put in by the Renegades. They look strong on this map. I don't think there's any arguments there, especially even just looking at money. But the other thing as well is I think the wind is out of the sails of the Rooster roster. Like, that's what we spoke about on Inferno, that they got rolling on the T side. They managed to get a few big plays that brought them back. And while Chelios, he's on the board. Maybe that could make a difference here. In fact, it looks like it has. 2 kills for him in a matter of seconds, but there's such a huge response already. Another couple back in return. It's on to Sicko. Oh, that's a wide peak. I don't think he realized how close they came. Rooster get their 4th, and it's off the back of Chelios. So, wow, okay. If he can do that a couple more times, a 9-6 half would be fine and dandy.
It would be dandy indeed. Oh, yeah, finally, Chelios. 2 kills. I mean, 2 very crucial kills. They at least get the round, so that's massive. But for a moment there, I believed that the Renegades would bring it back, maybe. But not expecting, like you said, both the players being up close and personal. Sicko showing that he is, in the end, just a mortal man after all. But we ended round number 14, penultimate round of this first half. Just, come on, Inns. Come on.
I feel like that's almost like the classic play of a god, though, is to make you think that they're not a god. It's like, oh, yeah, no, I'm just like you guys. Except for the fact that I can't die, and it was just a choice. It's just like, I feel like that's what the Catholic religion's almost based on. It's like, yeah, I could die, but I am immortal and all-knowing and all-seeing. Everything good in this world.
But I will die for your sins, as Malta will find a couple, and it's an absolute shutdown, just to 1 casualty. And Renegade's like, all right, fine, you had one, you had your fun. Let's close this one out. And ruthless it is. Again, the weaponry. I feel like the entire 15 rounds, apart from maybe the first couple buy rounds for Rooster, they've just had to make do with a mixed buy of AKs and Galils and whatnot. They don't just seem to have much to work with majority of the times.
Yeah, it's been rough. And then the problem is as well that every time that they have been able to build up money, aka the first 3 rounds of the game, they just weren't able to actually build anything off of it. The second weapons were in the hands of the Renegades, they were unstoppable. And that's just terrifying. Like, that's literally what this been. Like, this was 3-1. Like, this was 3-1, and then it went 9 and 9-3. So, yeah, it was a streak of rounds that... Well, they didn't really get anything done. Even when it was costly, it didn't put a dent in the economy. They seem almost hesitant now. Like, it looked like they were going to make a play through Mini with the rest of the team, and instead ASAP's just ended up lurking. It has come up with a kill for Netic, though. The bomb is still down, so it's not like they're making any sort of real decision here, but they're very much reliant on one player doing some damage.
ASAP just waiting for the smoke to dissipate from Squeaky so he can kind of like strike alongside his teammate. Now we go. We're walking on and he spots a player out, but they're unaware of the player in the rafters. There's a player right above. It's going to be Hats. It's going to mow them down, but 2 quick kills. But from behind, Dexter executes
2 quicker
Netic,
kills.
and Sicko will finish off the job. 19 kills, 4 deaths for Mr. Sicko. Hats the only player not to hit double digits. And for the side of Rooster, Netic the only player to get to the double-digit mark. Rough.
Well, yeah, and I'm fairly certain as well that all of Chelios' 3 kills came in like the last couple of rounds. So he's had a rough one. Obviously, going on to the CT side, I feel like there's a little bit more space for him to maybe move and be a bit more aggress them and catch them off guard. But it's one of those situations where I kind of looked at this match and go, okay, on the CT side, I could see them being a bit cheeky and getting away with some things. On the T side, I needed to see something more. This is the one map where I guess you kind of flip the script and go, okay, if you're a more puggy side, you're probably going to do better on the CT side just because you can get away with like weaker weaponry and risky plays. Whereas on the T side, you need to be methodical, you need to have synergy. And so far, we've not seen that. And again, it just seems to be falling apart. We're watching from Danny's point of view, and well, it was a little bit depressive up until that headshot. Now it's down to ASAP. And unfortunately, he's just dropped into a position which actually makes it harder for him, if anything, to rotate quickly.
It's not making much noise, though. He's managed to sneak his way into the bomb, just getting planted. Doesn't have a kit, but he does have time. Squeaky. Oh, immediately gooshed. Right in the face by Ins. And yeah, this is looking rough. And look at Sicko. Look at Sicko. Slowly wrapping around, and ASAP's not going to be expecting this, and all Ins has to do is just toy around. In fact, he's just going to get the kill as well. Quad kill for Ins. I like the aggression from Rooster, just pushing up ramp, but Renegades, man, they just have every angle covered. They're just aware, so aware of what the push might be, what the play might be, and individually, everyone's popping off. Ins and Sicko, 41 kills between the two of them, and we've only played 16 rounds so far.
See, when Sicko's making those sort of rotations, I just imagine him like whistling, like always look on the bright side of life. Like, dude. Wait.
There we go.
Just that sort of thing, and like nodding his head, just like knowing that he's already won the round. It is it's a bleak one. Like, he seems to be having a good time.
He is, and Ins just, well, joined the party as well. Dex is like, well, I'm gonna have my fun. As everyone's getting slaughtered, that's money in the bank. Daddy's little trust fund gun just farming that cash. And now, well, they're all going to fall. 4 kills to the SMGs.
You don't know my life, Blair.
Go on. Oh, okay.
Talking about the...
It is, though, isn't it? It's small, it's handy, it promises you some cash, makes your life easier. Until you get kicked out. That's what happened to me. Anyway, 13 to 4. Listen, doesn't work out here, Tom. I'm coming to Ukraine. I'll be your neighbor.
More than welcome.
Hell yeah.
I found a place that, in my opinion, does good Indian food. I know that's a must for you because you found one in Poland.
Yeah, but
you,
exactly.
You had it like 6 times in Poland, and we were there for like 2 weeks.
It was good. It was good Indian food, man. Listen, what could go wrong if a Brit and an Indian winds up in Ukraine? Many things is the answer. But anyway, that's a lot of thought. It is kind of like a bonus round for Renegades to have the SMGs to work with. They didn't lose a single player the previous round, so it's going to be the rifles on the side of Rooster. AWP for Chelios. That's a great opening kill there. Great roll from 80k to find one. Sicko with the reply on the Chelios, but it's all on Dexter. Now, one, he's been struggling finishing off the kills a little bit.
Who uses the MP5? That's my bigger question. Like, it got a kill in that round. It's one of those guns. What are you in the realm of Banks where you're like, when it came out, Banks was like, yeah, no, it's gonna be really good, and then it was trash, and now there's like 3 people who use it.
It's not really trash per se. It's just that the MP9 is just way more cheaper, right? But MP5, it's got a soft spot in my heart. It goes back to the old 1.6 days. Ooh! Okay. That was a good read. Where was this Chelios all this while?
I was playing the T side, unfortunately. It's rough out there. The thing is, I can see there's a few AWPers that I would actually look towards to really do a lot of work. I think if you, for example, ever watch Envy play, they're really reliant on the pushes that come out from Nifty outside to actually for their plays to work. Or Art, for example, but that's the easiest example in the universe, and he can do that on every map. So
that's not an example. He's an anomaly.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas with Nifty, I can actually see that some thoughts got into it. Whereas with Art, he's insane, but I love it. Similarly to Dexter at times, but you know, I think it's a love-hate relationship. You somewhat want them to fail for your sanity, but at the same time, it's very enjoyable that they can do it so successfully.
Oh, the timing on this could be big, but Inns crouches right beneath the bullets. Now, we do have the flank coming in. They have a player pushing up towards Trophy Room. That is, of course, Mr. ADK. But there's no one to find. There are no T's towards lobby, but that's at least a little bit of information gleaned. Now they're aware the T's are towards outer, and with the kill, with ASAP finding hats, that's going to make life a little miserable for Renegades. They have no awareness of where the remaining CTs are. Dexter has to go big. He's going to find one. He's aware of the second player's position as well, but the CTs, they're ready to just pounce onto this upper bomb side. Why would he come on out there, Chelios, you madman? There was 13 seconds on the clock, Tom. There was the T's were not on the bomb site. He had an AWP. He's on a ladder. They know where he is, and he still climbs up the ladder. The lad is mental.
Really lucky to be alive as well. He actually got
very.
Hit. Oh god.
Look at this. Why? Why? There's no need.
Hey, you know what? Like, although in the moment it is insane, for his confidence, that's going to do wonders. Like, you're going to start feeling yourself a bit more if you can get away with stuff like that. So, I don't mind it in hindsight, but as it was happening, it's upsetting. But we get over it.
I put it across this way, right? Like, 3v2, it's not much time remaining. Imagine if Dexter landed a shot and he died, right? Now it's a 2v2. Anything could happen, potentially. But even if you won the round, your money was not in a good spot. Yeah,
but it worked, so that means it's a good play, right?
Of course, yeah, absolutely, 100%. Inns, the utility file, 46 grenades used, and top fragging in the server. That's impressive.
Bad at all. Bad at all. Well, that is not the start they were looking for. An attempted aggressive play. I like the fact that Rooster's trying to be more proactive and take map control. As said, it was something I expected on their CT side, but the worry is similar to what we saw in Inferno. Is once Renegades get into their stride on the T side, they're very good at shutting a lot of these plays down. Their default is solid, and it mainly comes down to maybe when they try and be a little bit more cheeky, a bit more aggressive themselves, that things can go a little bit wrong. Chelios, good position. He's just going to be forced off the angle, knows he needs to fall back. He's going to have so many players to hit, and somehow that bullet has gone askew, leaving the take of outside. And in fact, Hats has somewhat split off from the rest of the pack. He's going to be the one scouting out the remainder of this A site. And you can see they've slowed down. Like, they are making their way towards B, but they're hesitant because they know exactly where Hats is sitting.
Is there literally no one on B? There is no one on B. They have the two ramp players have wrapped around, which is great. They haven't spotted the player out either. But Dexter heard the footsteps. There's going to be a free kill for him. There's a player running on out, but someone Netic's going to get the kill. Now they realize the upper bomb side is empty, and that should be the call for the T's to make their way up. But they don't have much time to work with, but they do have an escape route. And now things are going to get heated here. It's a 2v3. Bomb will get planted. But AD can Chelios, especially with an AWP, Tom, I'm not fancying this retake.
The only thing is they do have some spare cash. So I kind of think that maybe going for this would be worth it just because they are so far behind in the match. Like, and enough cash to bring them into the next round. Even one save would be enough for them to buy. Allowing your opponent to get to 14 is a bit of an uncomfortable position, but not finding anything within the first 20 seconds, fair enough. Keep the guns.
I really like this stuff from Renegades, the way they play that one. It's a 5v4. They send up Hats, like I said, towards heaven. And I'm not a big fan of what Rooster did there, right? Like, you've lost secret control, you've lost yard control, and the two players on ramp, they just start flanking in towards the lobby. But sure, you're going to get some information, but if you wanted to go for that play, you should have gone for it a little bit earlier. I felt it was a little bit too late, because even though they found the information that the T's were not towards the lobby, that was going to be a lower bomb side hit, by that time they lost so much real estate that Hats gets a free kill on the player towards Hut, and they have time to kind of like escape that potential stack and the potential rotation from the CTs as well. So many weird decisions, I might say, from Rooster, and I kind of feel like it's not a wrong decision, so to speak. It's just more about the timing. Just not there.
A little bit of karma, but just spamming that wall. He did actually do almost equal amounts of damage, though, to the man on the other side, so it's not really that much of a loss, especially for the T side, looking for those opening picks. Of course, this is somewhat the be-all and end-all for Roosters. They've got a bit of extra money, but it's not going to be a pretty picture to paint if they do lose this round and have to try and win 8 in a row just to survive in the map. On a little bit of wiggle room.
A little bit of wiggle room. That is something that desperately need. Danny. Oh, finds one. Oh, almost gets a second. He dinks Sicko through the smoke, but ends with a quick trade. And now, 4v4. But ends. He's so very aware. He's gonna find, well, nothing much. Actually, he does. He gets a kill on the Chelios. I didn't even notice that. And suddenly, it's just turned around. ADK 1v3. Very winnable considering how low two of these players are. However, they've gone down. And again, it's looking unlikely.
Evil.
Oh.
They've done this a couple of times now where they have a site and then they go, should we just go to the other one? Like, let's go to the other one. And then it'll be so confused. Like, they did that in the last round when they, like, you said it, Discovery, it's like, they had B and then they went, we just go A. Like, we've got a lurker on A. Let's just take that control instead. And they've done it here where it's like, okay, we've killed everyone on A, but the chances are if he was on B, he's rotated. Like, he's run by now. We wasted a lot of time. Let's not give him a chance. Let's just rotate away. Let's make sure that this round is over before he can even take a fight. And it's very, very smart calling that's coming out from Renegades. Like, it is literally impossible to play any of these clutch situations because every time you think you've made a perfect play, they've made a last-second call to just ruin your day.
It's Big Brain Dexter just bamboozling Rooster, and yeah. The interesting thing, I think the one thread which is running through all the 3 games we've had an opportunity to cast and to watch so far today has been how even the Renegades, Order, as well as Chiefs, right? I feel like none of them have really tried. You know what I mean? They haven't really tried hard enough. They're just like playing the game, giving the respect that's due to their opponents, and just winning it just based off the fact that they just are the better team. They haven't tried anything crazy, which is one thing I'm looking forward to is when these guys are going to be facing off against each other in the upper bracket. For example, Chiefs versus Order and Renegades versus maybe Ground Zero if they win their game tomorrow. I think it's going to get exciting. And obviously, it's all building up to the potential final clash, which I guess everyone is expecting, which is going to be between Order and Renegades, unless some crazy upset takes place.
Yeah, I was definitely impressed by Chiefs earlier, so I'm looking forward to how they'll play going forward in the tournament. But I definitely agree, like, that is the sort of like hot topic match, the game of the day whenever it does come about. ASAP though, he's going to spot a lot of players wrapping out of that smoke. There's probably not the most comfortable angle or fight he's ever taken. That's just holding, and it's so clean. It's actually Inns. He has been phenomenal in this map. That's his 26th kill, and bear in mind that Sicko has been there with him, so it's a battle almost for who's going to finish top of the board.
Oh,
80k,
no.
He needs something here, and Inns again. He's been entry fragging, he's been the nade thrower, he has been an extraordinary player within this match. And just look at Walker waiting. Can Danny do anything to stop him? Finally, Inns is down, but there comes the next, leaving a 2 versus 2, a possible scenario with 15 seconds to get the plant down. Have they done it again?
No way.
They're running the gauntlet back to 8. This is beautiful Counter-Strike from the Renegades. Every time you think you know, you don't know.
They're still waiting lower. They still don't know. Oh, God. I don't believe this.
Masterful stuff, and more in the 2 versus 2. There is still a possibility, but that's 20 seconds wasted off of the clock. It might not quite be enough, though. Hat's very low on HP. He's going to try and deny them with the flashbang. I don't know if they have kits available to them, but I don't think it's going to matter anyway. It should be enough time for them to get that defusal, and while the tasty little clock that's been added ruins the surprise a little bit here, Blair, because we do know that they've got the defusal.
Yeah, but Netic, if he did not get that kill onto Hats, that's it. What a way to lose the game. Renegades, man, these last second rotation calls are just like fantastic. Just amazing stuff. And, well, Rooster, they win a round, Tom. It feels like it's been a lifetime.
Yeah, it's still a rough one, though, because even though they managed to win the round, again, it was very, very close. And again, Like, I look at some of the plays that were made by Renegades, and I'm still impressed with how they're actually playing this T side. They look like they're pulling the strings, and it's down to Rooster to almost just react. Like, we made the joke of the like sort of puppeteer earlier in the day, and it does look like Renegades are just sitting above and choosing exactly what Rooster have to do. Now, they've come out on top in a couple of rounds, which is almost impressive considering that, but it does lead me to believe the Renegades are eventually going to close out this game.
Well, they do have 7 map and match points to work with here, ADK. Hearing a few footsteps, deciding, yeah, I don't want to take that fight. He's going to do a smart thing, in my opinion. Falls on back. Safety, there's no one nearby. There's no one towards hell to help him out if he does go for a full commit on that fight. And that's some pretty decent amount of real estate clean early on. ASAP, ballsy hole. Dexter not expecting that angle, gets taken down. And ASAP looking for more, still holding the line, but Hats will trade him. So now it's a 4v4. Bear in mind, Ince only has a deagle to work with here.
I wonder if he'll be able to go back and potentially retrieve a gun. And instead, it's actually going to be Hats going down. The bomb has been retrieved in place. And ADK is in a very good position. It's one that I normally consider to be more of a one and done. But he's the second man in this arsenal. He's the player waiting behind his initial teammate. He is not expected. Sicko still lands the shot. And the second one is tasty, to say the least. He's going to opt to try and get the bomb down. The economy of Renegades is not in a particularly good position. You'd never really doubt this man in these sort of spots. It's awkward, to say the least, especially with both players coming in from different angles. Timing going to be everything, but he still spotted that first player. He now knows, though, he's going to get pushed from elsewhere. What is that shot? And how's he got away with it? He's managed to escape into a more passive position. It's probably going to have to be a no-scope. And Netic, he's just trying to... They're walking almost side by side in tandem with each other. And he's managed to escape. Look for the wraparound. And with no kit available, it seems, it's just going to come down to the clock. It's all over. He's done it. Sicko's managed to win them the match just off a pure individual play. That is a fantastic way to end the match for him. And a great performance overall.
Oh, that is... I'm torn halfway through, Tom. That was an incredible, a 1v4, an incredible 1v4 to win.